Hey everybody, welcome to Champ Chat. Me and the boys are all here. We're just getting some things set up, finished up. And right at the last second, the man, the myth, the legend, John Merrill popped in. We weren't sure if he's gonna make it today, and he did make it. Apparently your meeting wasn't too long.
Uh, it was really exciting stuff. Yeah.
Right. And of course we've got Patty Power.
Oh,
Patty, how we doing?
good.
Oh, all right. Who we got in the chat? We've got Ruth H in the chat. Hey, Ruth. Nick Donovan, he's in there. Sup? What's up, Nick? And then Andrew C. Hello, hey guys. Thanks for joining us. So obviously the big headline of the pod today is will still be manager? Is that how you said it? I don't even know. I got tongue tied trying to read it. If that makes sense.
Still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it still doesn't. Yeah. Still will. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, another loss for them. A bad one too. I would consider that a bad loss. You can't be losing that game. Not in the situation they're in. Um, anyway, who else is joining us? Oh, Ted Nelson in the house. Hey, Ted, Tom L. What's up? Hey guys. Um, so yeah, so Will Still, I think that's probably a good place to start. What's I mean, surely, I mean, we've been talking about him for a good few weeks now. Surely after that, I mean, he's got to be close.
Are either of you two surprised he hasn't gone already?
Yes, I
Yes.
am.
I'm gonna say I'm a little surprised he hadn't. He sort of wasn't gone yesterday, or at least this morning.
Right. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was waiting for that one to come out yesterday. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw this, just popped like it's kind of off topic, but not necessarily. Brendan Rodgers apparently resigned from Celtic about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, did he?
He did.
Oh,
He did. Oh. Anything else to add to that, John?
I wonder if Chris Davis is sitting comfortably.
Exactly was my first. I was
That's what Aaron said.
It's,
I I think it's I don't know if you guys may or may not notice, but I know before Chris Davis, I believe Brendan Rodgers was quite high on the list that Blues wanted, but obviously at that time he wasn't interested in coming to League One or Birmingham at the time. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be
interesting.
surprised.
Yeah, so interesting. Anyway, back to Will Still, I guess. Okay. Will Still is the manager at Southampton, Esteban, who's asking. So Will Still, uh, I mean, obviously Southampton's underperforming really, I mean, really badly. Uh, they, I mean, I've heard some people try to make the argument that, the underlying data looks really good, but you can't just keep losing. Not with that. I mean, it'd be one thing. It's one thing if it's a newly promoted team into the, into the league, but they just come down from the Premier League. They should be. I mean, they should be fighting at the top for sure. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, with the squad they have at their disposal, I mean, they should be top two. Let's be honest, or they should
yeah,
be fighting for top two.
yeah. I
Um,
tipped them to be top two.
yeah, and me to be honest. I mean, I mean, new manager, new to English football, a team coming down from the Premier League. It can have a hangover. There is a lot
Yeah,
of mitigating factors, um, but the thing, I think the result this weekend was, I mean, Blackburn. Come on, they're a team
yeah.
which have really struggled this season. Um, if it was like I don't know, if it was a Hull away or something, or a team on red hot form, or even a Charlton
Hmm.
or something like that,
Yeah,
you could make an excuse, or you could say, well, you could see that coming. Um, as bad as Southampton have been so far this year, I didn't see that coming. I thought they'd have enough to beat Blackburn.
Yeah, 12 points from 12 games so far for a relegated side. I mean, that's
Wow,
not good.
touch and go for safety, point a game, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could understand like 5-6 games, get into the new, getting things lined out. I could understand, maybe not being great, but with the money that's in that squad, having a negative 4-goal difference and 1 point per game, that's not good enough. it just isn't good enough. And only 2 wins. I think that's the other thing. It's not like they got 4 wins out of those 12. It's 2 wins, 2 wins and a bunch of draws. Yeah. So they're. I don't know. What do you do there? Interesting comment here, Andrew C. They need to start from scratch. I mean, what do you? I mean, I don't know what you do. I mean, obviously, you'd look to bring somebody in, but is it a complete? Do you try to just reset and go? I mean, you really can't right now. You've got what you got. You're stuck with it. Not that it's a bad squad, but I don't know. It's a weird one to me. I don't. Yeah, like you said though, I don't know how he's still in a job. I don't get it. I'm lost.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they feel from the outside they feel like they're similar to us. That you just look at the squad and go, how are they not scoring goals regularly? You look at the players they've got at their disposal, the strikers they've got in their, on the bench starting games. You just think, well, even if they're creating half chances, those guys usually bang goals for fun. I get the argument where they say the underlying data looks very good. They control games and all that, but ultimately it's a results business, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can only get away with that line for so long, and I suppose the hierarchy at Southampton, like I said, I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't gone. Maybe they're sticking with him. Maybe they think the underlying data shows that they give him another 3 games, maybe to the international break. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, right now they're let's see how many points. So they're 13 points from automatic promotion. That's not an easy gap to close either. I mean, 13 points is quite a bit. So at that point, it's I mean, the longer you wait, and if it continues to get worse, they're not far off you're not near as far off playoffs, but that's still, I mean, I don't think playoffs was there's no way that was their goal this season. Their goal had to be automatic promotion. And they maybe they would have settled, if you've settled for finishing 3rd or 4th, and thought, okay, didn't go quite as good as we wanted, but we're still good. But to be sitting in 20th or whatever it is right now, looks like they're sitting 20th right now. That's not good enough. Nowhere near good enough. Got any thoughts, Patty? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, I'm just working on something here. I'm kind of listening, but 2 seconds. I'll be finished.
Okay, good.
I'll join you in.
All right, you're good. Okay, so then after that one, the other one, me and Patty were kind of chatting about before that. I don't understand how he's still on a job. Liam Manning at Norwich, 8 points from 12 games. I mean, that's brutal for a team that I thought was going to be a playoff team. I figured they'd be a playoff team.
I think they thought they'd be a playoff team as well. Yeah. I listened to something the other day, which I have no idea how accurate it is, but they were saying that essentially this squad of players was put together over the last couple of seasons with a sort of total cost of £55 million.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard the same thing. I thought, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to say when you hear something like that, you think that's something's gone wrong there because they really don't look it. And to be honest, they didn't really look it last season either. They had moments, but other than that, they weren't consistently particularly good. I think there's a lot of unrest off the pitch, behind the scenes as well. I think by the sounds of things, the manager, it's not just sort of the manager's fault. I think they said that they've got a director of football there that I think is under a little bit of pressure from the fans because they see it as, since he's been director of football, he's basically not been able to pick a successful coach / manager. The recruitment hasn't particularly been great, and they arguably sold their prized possession to their neighbours this summer, which didn't go down too well. So, yeah. Is he hanging on to the manager because he feels that if he sacks him, he's essentially saying he's failed again? And could he survive doing that? I don't know.
Yeah, Ben Napper is the name of the director of football. But yeah, they I on that, I think it was the same show. I assume it's probably the same. We probably both listened to the same show, but they were saying that apparently the owner's coming over this week too to have a chat with everybody. That doesn't sound good. I mean, that can't feel real confident going into that conversation.
No, but it doesn't sound like he'll get the boot though, does it? Because
I know it's kind of
last chance saloon. It feels more like,
maybe,
but
maybe they give him to the international break to show something. But I mean, even at that though, like what? I mean, you almost have to say like he needs to win. What do they got? 2 or 3 games left?
3 games.
Before, so he's got to win them all, right? I mean, if you win one, that's probably not enough.
I don't, without knowing the fixtures, but I would say with the 3 games, if he could, win 1, draw 1, or win 1, draw 2, or something like that, considering where their current form is, that would be progress. Right. But I mean, I think they've got Sheffield Wednesday, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got Hull this weekend, and then Wednesday they've got Wednesday on Wednesday, and then they got Leicester to finish off. Is their last game before the international break. So Leicester at home, which their home form's been horrific. I don't think they've won at home yet.
No, they haven't.
And then Wednesday, I mean, you assume they can get 3 points there, but I don't know. With Sheffield Wednesday, they've shown that they can compete with people. And then Hull, I think Hull's been pretty good lately. So they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've lost. Let's see. Let me count that again. 5. So 6 out of the last 7 games, and then the 1 game that they didn't lose, they drew. Out of their last 7. So this Kelly Davidson, obviously speaking about me for the exceptional and handsome deal. Thanks, Kelly, for the $10 super chat.
Ken's going to be very upset now. No, he's not here.
Well, there you go. That's what happens. We know where the exceptionally handsome pundits are. They're on Champ Chat. It's not just regular handsome, exceptionally handsome.
I'm very surprised we haven't lost more managers this season. I was expecting that international break to go a little crazy. So maybe the next one is going to be fireworks.
I think this coming one is probably going to be the one, isn't it? Because it's the last one before the January window as well. So
on this is an interesting question. I had heard that the championship was a bit crazy and a real meat grinder. This year seems even more chaotic than I thought possible. It does. I was looking at that today. Like, nobody's. I mean, Coventry is kind of the exception. Nobody else is grabbing this thing and just like running off with it. Like, there's no team that you look at and think, oh yeah, you don't want to play them. Other than Coventry, I think Coventry could be is probably that exception. But you're right, because even them, it's kind of like, yeah, we might be able to get something. You know what I mean? It's not like looking at where you looked at who went up last season? Leeds. You looked at Leeds and it's like, okay, if we get anything, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
We don't. There's nothing like that in the championship this season. You know what I mean?
I'm not scared of Coventry.
No.
I wouldn't be. I would not be surprised if we get something out of this. You know what I mean? I think we can get something out of that game. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember playing the Leicester team that won the division a couple of seasons back, and I remember sitting at St Andrews. I think they beat us 3-2 on the night, I think it was, or something like that. And we played out of our skin. It was one of our better performances, but you were just up against a side which it almost felt in that game was every time they wanted to go forward and score, they just did, and it was just ease. It was just smooth silk, and you could just tell every single player in every single position was just levels above everyone, and they just won games effortlessly every single week. I haven't seen that from anyone this season. I mean, I remember that the Ipswich team that went up a couple of seasons back didn't play particularly brilliant to watch football. It was good football, but it wasn't like Man City-esque. But they just went for you. They'd go one up, then they'd go two up, and then if it was 80 odd minutes, they'd still be pushing for goals. They were just really strong, and of course, everyone who came off the bench was really strong. I haven't seen that from anyone this season. There's no one in this division where I kind of sit there and just even in fleeting moments, Leicester have not really turned on anything at Southampton, as we've already discussed. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Coventry are probably the exception at the moment. But every time I see Coventry, I just think they're just clinical. They're just really clinical.
Yeah, I agree. They just they don't miss much. And you know what? Actually, they are clinical, but at the same time, not really. Like they're just getting a lot more big chances. I think they're just creating a lot more chances because when I was I was doing some stuff for our tactical fortitude last week, and I was looking at it and looking at like for us, like big chances and big chances missed and stuff. Well, the Coventry, of course, they're at the top of the big chances created, but they've also missed the most big chances too. Now you could say, well, if you're creating the most, you've got more chances, so therefore you probably will miss more than everybody else, but they are missing them. But I think they're just creating so daggone many chances, which is pretty crazy, really. But yeah, I think that's probably fair, though. I would like to see what their conversion rate is. It's probably pretty high, I imagine.
Do you get the impression with this? This is how I feel with Coventry. I get the feel they're overperforming right now. I'm not convinced this is their natural level. Yeah. Whereas I think in past, when we've had like the Leicesters and the Leeds and all this sort of stuff, you've kind of looked at them, and when they've been winning 4 or 5 games on the spin and kind of just dismissing people 2-3-0, you've kind of thought, yeah, they're not overperforming. This is kind of their natural level in this league. I do get the feeling with Coventry, while they've been absolutely magnificent, are they just overperforming at the moment?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think they are. The point is, how much are they going to drop off? If it's not a significant drop, they'll still be earning a lot of points, and they could still be miles ahead. So that's kind of the question: how significantly will they drop, and for how long?
It's kind of a little bit like Ipswich the other season. They came up from League One and they started off like an absolute train, and everyone kind of said, well, they're overperforming. And the kind of key was they got to sort of end, New Year, and they were still arguably overperforming. But as everyone said, that they got to the point where they had amassed that many points. You just thought, well, even if their form drops off the cliff, they're still going to be top 6 because they had amassed so much points in the first half of the season. I do wonder if Coventry will get to that point, because they do look like they go, unless their form drops off a train in the next, say, 2-3 games, if this carries on for say another 5, 6, 7 games, points tally wise, you're going to be like, well, they're halfway to playoffs already, almost in that regard. If they get another 15 points plus.
What was the highest last season?
Highest
in the league. What was that? What did the first position end up with? 100.
I think it was 100. 100 was 103.
No, I think
two got to 100.
I think it was both when it Leeds and Burnley both got to 100 points.
Yeah, but you don't know the exact number.
I think it was 100 points.
Exactly 100. Okay, so I made up a couple of sheets, and that's what I was working on there for the first couple of minutes. So I actually worked out the projected points for the remainder of the season, and then I checked what the average points were in the last 10 seasons to project what position you'll end up in. And Coventry at the moment, with their level of points, projected points for them for the end of the season is 107. So that shows significantly they are overachieving at the moment.
No, so let me kind of push back a little. Mm-hmm. Just a quick look at the. I understand. Yeah, they're probably overachieving. They're definitely overachieving from what we all thought they would do. Okay, I agree with that. But if you look at the numbers, mm-hmm. both offensively and defensively. I think they're just right. I mean, they just are playing at a level. Now, whether they can sustain it, I don't think so. I think they are actually playing at a level because they've got the highest XG, how much you want to put into that or not, but at least their expected goals is the highest in the league by 5 points. They're 5 points. They've got their XG for the season is 27.2. And the team in second place is 22.5, which interestingly is Southampton. Mm-hmm. So they've created loads and they've not been clinical. But
which proves why XG is shite. But go on.
Well, but the point is though, at least it's both sides of the ball. So if you look shots on target per match, that's probably a more real, because that's real. That's actually data. That's not made up. 5.8. Shots on target per match. That's the highest in the league. So they're getting good chance, like they're creating good chances. And then when you go to the defensive side, they've goals conceded per match 0.8, which is third in the league. XG conceded against XG, but they're at 21st lowest in the league. So they're which is good. That's where you'd want to be. And then clean sheets, most in the league with 6. So they're playing well. They're one of the best teams offensively and defense. It's not like they're just outscoring everybody, but their defense is shit. Like they're doing it on both sides of the ball. They're just a complete good team right now.
They're doing well, but the simple stats prove that they're what would be deemed overachieving because the average for first position is 95. Last season, both teams managed to get 100, and they're tracking on target for 107 points. That is overachieving by every metric, because we believe it's unsustainable. They're not going to break the record and get 107, so they are overachieving.
Well, but what it tells me though is if they can keep this form up for a little while, then when they do inevitably drop off some. They can afford to drop off some, and everybody else has got to go on a hell of a run to catch them, because they're just walking away from everybody at this point. And you're making it hard on teams that have been struggling. The teams that we all expect, Ipswich to figure things out and get things going. We expect Leicester to give a push. Now, who knows what happens with points deduction and stuff with them, but those teams you expect to be good at the end, in the end, they've got to turn it around quick, because the further Coventry get out, they get to a point where, if they right now, what are they on? How many points are they on? Sorry, I'm
28.
They're on 28, 28 points out of 12 times 3 is 30. Was that 36?
Yeah.
So they got 28 out of 36 points. That's how many? What's that points per game? Trying to do math in my head. But it's good. Yeah, it's good though. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess what is it? 12 divided by hold on, I'll tell you.
2.25.
There you go. 2.25 points per game. So if they continue this for till say the international break, they could drop off to a 1.7, and you still got to make a hell of a run to catch them. You know,
this is really pushing them for top 2.
Yeah,
it's still early, but we're almost at a quarter.
Right.
So without a sustained massive nosedive, they'll be comfortable there for quite a while.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I have 2 really big questions with Coventry. One is, how will they react when they lose a game? Because they haven't lost a game yet.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
Okay. How will they react when they lose to us? That's a better way of putting it.
One.
You two been drinking before I got here or something? But
yeah.
No. But how will they react when they lose a game? And the second thing will be Thomas Asante is scoring goals left, right, and centre for them. Now, even the most ardent Coventry fan cannot sit and stand in front of me and with a straight face say he is a Championship goal machine. He is not. He's a journeyman footballer who's going through a purple patch. So when he stops scoring, Hadji Wright and the rest of them need to step up. And yes, they've been scoring a lot of goals. So I have 2 big questions. What happens when they lose a game or 2? And when the strikers do stop to score goals, because that's what happened to them last season, how do they react?
Good question. I don't
Undetermined.
know. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, we're going to find eventually they're going to lose Friday, but eventually they're going to.
Well, this could be an epic burnout. It would kind of be hilarious if they went 3 quarters of the season and were right up the top and then just went down into the playoffs and then lost in the final.
Yeah.
That would be a crazy season.
Who do Coventry have? Because it's a 3-game week, isn't it, before the international break? So they have you guys Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then
they've got Sheffield United Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then they've got Stoke on the Saturday.
See, if I was going to have a bet, not that I encourage gambling, but I would have a bet the game that they might come unstuck on could be that Stoke game against a side that are up there. And it'll be the third.
At Stoke as well.
It's at Stoke. It's the third game in the week, if you know what I mean. It's always the one that's the one that if you are going to have a below par performance, it's the third game.
Who we can? Hold on, time out. This is the Championship, so it's never going to happen the way we think. So they're definitely going to get battered 5-0 at home against Sheffield United.
Yeah,
that'll be the one to have. I mean,
Sheffield United will give them an absolute
stupid. Something stupid.
Callum O'Hare and Hamer, when ex-Coventry players will just batter them. You just see it.
Yeah. So let's Hollywood this then. So they come up against us first, and they are absolutely battering us for 90 minutes and can't score. And then we get one shot in 90 plus 4 and win it. And then they go into Sheffield United and get battered 4-0.
Here's
losing 2 in a row.
And then get beat by Stoke.
And then get beaten by Stoke as well.
Here's an interesting comment. Coventry is so good, Ben Sheaf couldn't make the team, which is true. He was a role player. But that's been one of the things I've been hearing. I hear from people that's their concerns about Coventry is they don't have much depth. The depth might be where they come unstuck. You know, if Hadji Wright or Asante, you know, get a little niggle and miss a few weeks.
Players.
And then all of a sudden it's 2, becomes 3, becomes 4. Who's stepping in? And that's where they could have issues. Yeah. And that's so and he, I mean, obviously wasn't performing well enough to make their team. And I think the rumors I heard Lampard just wasn't real big on him anyway. But I'm not holding that against Ben Sheaf. I'm just saying do they have the depth though to hold out, you know, in that top spot?
Not that I would come to the defense of Wrexham players very often. I'm not sure. I'm going to say I'm not sure the argument could be lent sort of landed at Benchief, he wasn't good enough for Coventry. I think it's pretty a well-known thought that it wasn't his ability, it was his fitness that was questioned at Coventry.
Yeah.
I think there was absolutely no question he was a good enough midfielder to play for them. I think the problem was he just couldn't play consistently 90 minutes Saturday, Tuesday. So, he was one of those where he's like Saturday then had to be rested or couldn't play many minutes midweek, and then they just weren't prepared to take the risk on a player important in their midfield that they couldn't rely on a 3-game week.
But would you keep him as a role player? I mean, would he work for them?
Would he want that though?
Maybe not. That's true. That's fair. Maybe he wanted out and they're happy to let him go. That's a fair comment, I guess. But I mean, to me, I think if you could get him to stay and he'd be willing to stay, I think that'd be, a great player to have. I think if he's going to have injury issues, and he's hurt for us right now, we don't know when he's going to be playing again. So, and from basically the way Parky's made it sound, it's not that bad. But then I think this is the second game in a row he's missed. So it's not, it's not like a super short term injury either. So, we'll see if he plays tomorrow. I don't know if they play him tomorrow or not. But yeah, I don't know. But like I said, that is, I think, with Coventry, I think that's at least what I'm hearing. That's the concern is, do they have the depth to it when people start going down? Because they will. You're going to have injuries. Injuries are going to happen, and when they do, will they be able to keep this run of form going? And that may be where they get themselves high enough now while they are healthy, and then maybe when they hit those dips, they can ride it out until they come back. And
that is actually the same comment I made about Charlton, that if they get enough points early, they can ride it out. If they hit a bad patch where they have multiple matches in a row, it's not going to be the end of the world, because they're so high up, they will slowly drop. Same kind of idea with Sunderland as well in the Prem. If they start falling apart, they have time to go through 4 or 5 matches with no wins in a row, and then slowly creep back into it. If of course your only goal is to survive.
Here's from George Jones. Remember what happened to Wickham last year? Unbeatable and in the top 2, then completely fell apart overperforming. Yeah, and I think that was you got to lay that on the feet of the manager. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say I'm not sure I could turn around and honestly say, they were overperforming. I think they were genuinely, legitimately, second and pushing us quite hard at the point.
Yeah.
They fell apart when the manager jumped ship to go to Luton. That plain and simple, that absolutely killed them as a football club. And they're still paying the price now for it, to be brutally honest. And I bet in hindsight, he probably wishes and looks back on it now and wishes he'd probably never gone. Because he could be managing Wickham in the Championship right now.
Yeah, probably. Because as much as I back Wrexham, we were going to have a hard time catching them. They were good. They were good.
They were right on our backside. They were matching us result for result.
Yeah.
So when he left, and their form did drop off a cliff pretty much almost instantly. It was not good. And if you look now, they're down the bottom end of League One, aren't they? How football is cruel to some people.
Yeah, fair. Kim, Wickham weren't deep and had injuries too. Yeah, there you go. MB475. We have a decent chance compared to other teams against Torp and Rodoni are injured, and Van Uwijk is suspended. I'll be honest. I've not done my homework yet for them, because I've been looking at stuff for tomorrow's game. So I need to do a little deeper dive on Coventry.
If those 3 are missing, that is big, because Van Uwijk is one of the better fullbacks in the division.
Were they all gone this weekend? I wonder. I'm gonna look at their out of curiosity, see what their last.
I think
starting 11.
Torp was definitely missing this weekend, but that was a surprise because I had him in my fantasy team and my alert told me that he wasn't starting, so I had to think on my feet and get somebody else in.
Yes.
Okay,
that
so who are you looking for?
So Torp, so Torp didn't start.
play.
Van, how do you say it?
Who-
Van
Uwick.
Van Eerwijk.
He played on the right for 88
Okay,
minutes.
He did play on Saturday, and then what was the other one that we were missing?
Rodoni.
Rodoni, yeah, he didn't play.
I think
either.
he's been out for a few games, and I think Van Eerwijk probably picked up a yellow card, which would be his fifth. If
okay, yeah,
because I think the comment said he's suspended.
Okay,
Yeah,
Rodoni is listed here as a calf injury early November.
Okay. Let's see.
So he's definitely out.
Yeah, he got a card. He got a yellow card. And that is his. Oh, shoot. He's got a bunch of yellow cards.
Must be his fifth, I'm guessing, if he's suspended.
Oh, wait. I went back too far. Never mind. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was his fifth. So, yeah, that, yeah, okay. Well, I know you had some stuff you wanted to bring up, Patty. What, you want to dive into that? Or...
Yeah, I thought it was worth just having a quick look. It's a little early in the year, but this gets better throughout the season as you have a look at it. But what it is good for is seeing where teams are bunching together with their scores, and are they high or low based on the averages. So let's see if we can see it here. Yep. Okay, so Coventry City projected for 107, Middlesbrough 96. So they're both projected above the average points for first, which is fair enough. We've kind of seen that. Then we have a little bit lower Millwall 88, Bristol 84, and Stoke 81. All of those will get you to fourth. So that's third, fourth, and fifth bunched in together. And then you have another big drop down to the 73s. You have Charlton, Preston, and Hull. So 6th, 7th, and 8th. They're all good for 8th position. So
it just, I don't see any of those three teams ending up there at the end of the season. You know what I mean? I don't think any of them stay on that form.
But what this is kind of good for, and as I said, it gets better as you go through the season. Charlton are currently in 6th, but with their projected points for the season, they shouldn't be there. They should kind of be around 8th. So just because it's early in the season, it's making them look even better.
Right.
Potentially their points actually are. John, were you going to say something there?
Yeah, I've got a question. The little picture for Nathan Jones, is that the facial expression he puts on when somebody says you're banned and cannot leave your technical area?
Oh shoot! I'll tell you what. I know we give him tons of shit. Yeah, you gotta give him credit. I think they've been unbelievable this season. I'm so impressed with how well they've played, and that it's just like every week I'm just waiting for it to just fall apart. You know what I mean? Because they weren't that good last year. I was not impressed with them last season, and so to see, it's just like I'm just waiting. It's just for me. That's what I've been doing all season. It's just like I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, and it's like, okay, they're gonna go on a run of like 5 losses, and it's just not gonna happen. Like I don't think it's gonna happen.
He annoyingly at this level is one of those managers that can organize a team, and he gets more out, he gets more out of the sum of the parts, if you know what I mean. He did it with Luton, and he was masterful at doing it at Luton, as much as it pains me to say it, where you looked at them and you played against them and you just thought, well, they're not very good, but they just dig out results week upon week upon week. And he set the foundations for Luton, and I'm a little bit surprised they've started so well, but I'm also not shocked, because I just thought, well, I remember what his Luton side was like when they came up from League One. They are a carbon copy. They are uncompromising. They run off set pieces. They're big. They're thuggish. They will not let you play. They'll kick you and push you and pull you all over the pegs, and you will just not enjoy playing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder. So, do you think he's? Do you think this is his level? Like, do you think like is he the type of manager that just? I mean, he can get you in the championship, and he can keep you in the championship. But is he the? I mean, I think he's done it. He has got a promotion out of the championship, didn't he? Didn't he get promoted out? Oh no, he got a job in the Prem, didn't he? Yeah. Okay.
So if you give him Wrexham cash, would he be able to win the league? Is essentially
yeah. See, that's kind of what I was getting to. Yeah. Is he that? Would he be a manager that a team like Wrexham that's willing to spend a ton would want to bring in?
Not really, no, because that kind of experiment failed at Stoke. Stoke did that.
Okay.
They brought him in, gave him a lot of cash. Didn't really work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, he went to Southampton in the Premier League. Didn't really work. He's to me, I look at him as he's like a Gary Rowett, if you know what I mean, or he's one of those managers that will take I won't say a low funded, but a team which don't have as much resource as anyone else. They'll make them difficult to beat. They'll be solid championship, and if everyone's fit and they can get everyone results together, they will challenge the top six. But consistently over a course of a 46-game season, they'll be forever destined to finish between sort of 8th and 12th. If you know what I mean, that sort of manager.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I'm wondering like Liam Manning. I'm wondering if he's a similar. Like, I'm starting to find like it just seems like you get these managers that do really well when they're kind of underfunded and like and they can galvanize a group that's probably not that great, but they get them to play really well and outperform. But then when you put them with a team where you've spent some money and they're expected to do better, they just struggle. And it's such an interesting dynamic. Like it's a weird thing. Like, and I don't know what it is and why it is, but it's just like it's interesting, super interesting.
You've got a fair few managers in that graphic there that fit that bill. Alex Neil, Struber.
Yeah.
Robbins could be argued to an extent because he probably overperformed with Coventry for some time, but he did bring in some really quality players, or turn out to have some real quality players. Heckingbottom, Jones, obviously. A group of them in that sort of top 8, top 7. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Here you go. Aaron, you're describing Parkey. Some will argue that, but I would argue he's had the most money the last 3 seasons, and he's got promoted 3 years in a row. So give him a chance. Got to give him a chance. He hasn't had the money at this level yet. So this is his first shot.
Right. So then where were we? We were here. So next up is Queen's Park Rangers, 9th, 69. Leicester City, 10th. West Brom, 10th. Ipswich Town, now this is an interesting one. They're actually 9th because the way I did my scoring, it takes account of the 11 matches played. So they actually are projected at 67 points, which pushes them back up to 9th. So that's essentially saying that they should be up somewhere around 9th, so they're even better than it just looks on the scoreboard because of the one match not played. So that's the top half. No big craziness there. Then we have Swansea projected 13th, Watford 15th, Birmingham 15th, Wrexham and Derby on 17th, Portsmouth 20th. So this is where it drops. From here down, it's bunching together with low averages. So this essentially is kind of the start of your bottom table. And you have Portsmouth projected 20th, Oxford 22nd, Southampton. The average score that they're achieving at the moment puts them in 22nd position. That's nuts. That is crazy for that team to be down there at the moment. Blackburn Rovers 23rd, and then pulling up the rear, you have Sheffield United, Norwich City, and obviously Sheffield Wednesday, all on a lower average than is required to get up to 23rd. So they're all sitting on the bottom of the table. So this bottom 6, 7 really are underachieving the average for the league. So yeah, new manager incoming for Sheffield United. Maybe just give them a couple of more matches. We see what happens there.
I like that. I like Sheffield Wednesday are projected to get -23.
Yeah, obviously doing averages.
Yeah,
-6.
I
Oh yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
I guess the only way you could have got around that would have been. It's really not a good way. I guess
there's no way of doing it.
If you do the points per game, if you do the points per game, do it that way, and then subtract the 12 off of it. Maybe that would have
off the end would have been better. Yeah,
maybe that would have been. But yeah, that's funny. -23. More points deductions coming.
Looking at that, if you were to offer Eustace, Mousinho, and Rowett that points projection right now, all three of them would take that end of the season. I think. I think if you offered Eustace, Mousinho, and Rowett that projected, I think all three of them take it. Even Rowett on 46 points probably thinks, do you know what, that might keep us up.
So let me ask you this. Eustace at Derby, I mean, they spent decent money this summer. Do you think will the ownership be happy with that? It's like, let's say they finish there. I mean, I would have, if they hadn't spent so much, I mean, that's about where I would have probably figured them, somewhere in that ballpark, safe, but not quite, but with the money I saw them spend, I kind of thought, they may push further up into the mid-table, you know what I mean? Maybe around, I don't remember where I end up putting, but 12th to 10th, maybe, you know what I mean? I thought they'd do well. And I have a lot of respect for John Eustace too. So that's part of it. But I just wonder what their ownership's thinking on that. Is just staying safe, is that good enough for them?
I think you're never comfortably safe in this league.
Right.
But I think if they are safe with, say, I don't know, 6-7 games to play, I think they would happily accept that. I think the thing is with Derby, I think yes, they did spend a fair amount of money, but you have to look at the quality of the squad that was there last season. They had a League One side last season. He worked a miracle to save them. I mean, they were dead and buried when he took them over, and how he kept that side up was nothing short of remarkable. To be brutally honest, they had to spend a lot of money. Like you guys had to spend money on the squad. They had to spend money on the squad. But I think their starting point was lower than a lot of teams as well. So I think, like I said, if you offered them mid-50s and sort of a place in and around that sort of, I don't know, say 15th to 17th position, I think the owners would snatch their hands off and say it's progress.
How about your owners? Do you think they'd be happy with 15th?
No.
So I was listening again. So again, and you'll be able to touch on it. Same show that we were talking about earlier. I was listening to, and they were mentioning because they had a Birmingham, fan, whatever, on there, pundit, I guess, and he was, I guess, what's your owner's name? What's his name? Blanking.
Tom Wagner.
Wagner. Apparently, he's still saying we're going for promotion. We're getting promoted. Like that's still his. That's his mindset, is we're getting promoted this season. I mean, is that what you're hearing? Like, is that?
I think the thing with, especially with Wagner, you have to not take everything with a pinch of salt, but he promotes very much of the ambitious, if you don't say it, you can't achieve it attitude. Yeah. So if you can't say we're going to get promoted, then you're never going to achieve it this season. He's of that mentality. The thing I'm kind of surprised about is he he has been, Wagner, this is, extremely vocal in his support of Chris Davis, as in like not just like the dreaded sort of vote of confidence. He is like almost double, triple down and basically said, "We are privileged as a football club to have this man in charge. He's going to be a high successful manager at the top end of English football." We absolutely. He even said in the latest fans forum, we are incredibly lucky as a football club to have him. And everyone, and me included, I'm sat there going, "Wow, it's a results business." But if the owner is that adamant and that supportive, yeah,
but is he? Now I know he's openly out there showing it, but there's always a hint of, I support you until.
Oh yeah,
I mean, so like get to January and, as you said, similar results. It might be a completely different story.
Oh yeah, in my eyes, yes, I would say it's a results business.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of fans are saying, same as you are saying, but what he says in public, he's not going to come on public and say, well, he's under pressure. He's got 3 games. So, he's never going to come and say that. But a lot of all the local journos who have obviously sources inside the club and inside the hierarchy around the club all say the same thing. There is absolutely, from what they're hearing, zero pressure of his job. They're out saying, they are adamant the process and he's the manager. So
I could agree with that without arguing it. In the same respect that I think it's kind of the same with Parky, is right now there is no pressure on his job. They're going to give him time. But it's, yes, like we're not near that time yet, but you only get so much rope. So same thing, like I'm not worried about Parky, but I can think of scenarios come January where he gets the job. And I guess it's the same with Birmingham.
Oh, absolutely. And like, I alluded to earlier with a certain Celtic manager now disappearing, who it is a well-known fact. They were interested in him before Chris Davis. And by all accounts, I believe it was Rodgers, who, of course, Davis was a long-time assistant to, was the one that sort of suggested, do have a look at this guy, blah, blah, blah. If he is available, I mean, it's not going to be sort of straight away, but if it comes to Christmas time and
it's a shadow now.
Yeah, it's kind of if he is interested, there is a bit, like you said, there is a shadow there that all of a sudden, well, we haven't got anyone better. Now it's now all of a sudden the grass might look greener. And if we're 12th or 15th or whatever it is, come sort of mid-December, they might look at it and go, "So, Brendan, do you fancy it?"
So here's Michael. And I was kind of saving it as we were getting to it. So Michael was like, "John, would you take Brendan Rodgers over Davis?"
Yes, of course I would. You'd be mad not to. I mean, the guy's managed Premier League and Champions League football clubs. No contest. If you take the emotion out of it and you're saying, for a manager of your football club, well, of course, if Brendan Rodgers would do it, of course you would. It's like any, it's like you guys had Paul Mullen as a striker, isn't it? Everyone loved him, but ultimately, if somebody better comes along, I'm sorry, but you're replacing him every day of the week. Same as managers. If a better one wants the job, is willing to do it, sorry, you have to take the emotion out of it. Of course you would have him.
So here's just kind of a follow-up to that. Where will he end up? Will he take a championship job? I think that's an interesting question. Would he take a championship job? With where he's at, I mean, obviously, it's not finished great for him at Celtic. You can't say they're struggling, but for Celtic, they're not doing well. It's not good enough for Celtic. Celtic's expected to win everything. So right now, trailing Hearts by 8 points in the league, or is it 8? Yeah, I think it's 8 points now in the league. And, that's not good enough.
And what are the
issues? Yeah, go ahead, Patty. Sorry.
What are the stories implying? Did he leave or was he pushed?
So he resigned. What they're saying is he resigned. I know I've been listening. I know we've talked about this before, but I kind of enjoy listening to some of the Scottish stuff, and so I've been kind of keeping up on it. And he has been very negative towards the board, towards the Celtic board here lately. He's not happy. Was not happy at all with the recruitment over the summer. And I think it was last week or the week before he had said they expect me to drive a Honda Civic like a Ferrari, and and that, he said, I mean just taking everything, just saying that. Imagine being a player on the team and you're like, well, fuck, man, thanks. You know what I mean? Like, he's basically just called you out. He was obviously not happy, and I think there was a lot of people that were kind of thinking, okay, what's the end game here? Because this sounds like a manager that wants out.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, maybe they said, okay, we're not sacking you.
Yeah.
And he said, well,
he must feel he's a big enough manager to just sit for a while and wait for a good opportunity. Maybe he looked at Birmingham and said, a little bit longer here with a bit of shadow, and maybe they'll come back to me. Or again, he says, okay, well, look, if that doesn't happen, I'll just sit around and wait. And we know how these things go. Managers will get dumped. People will be in trouble. They'll need help. And I'll comfortably get a job somewhere.
I could see, and he's the caliber of manager, though. I mean, that seems like a step backwards. I think he could get a prim job for him. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm not talking just Birmingham. Yeah. I'm saying the championship in general. For him, that seems like a step down. Whereas, I think he could get one of the prim jobs when they come open soon. And maybe he's looking at that thinking, okay, there's going to be some, those are going to come open. Let's have a look. But maybe if those don't work out, then maybe you say, yeah, you know what? Maybe. Let's be honest. If you're a manager and you're looking at what Birmingham's done, obviously they're willing to spend the money. They're building a brand new stadium soon. I mean, how far out are you guys on that? Was it like 5 years or something?
They want it. Well, Wagner wants it built by 2030.
Okay, so about 5 years ish.
4.
4. You're right. So yeah, I mean that's.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good job for sure. But that is 4 years down the road. Is that too do you keep a manager? How long is a manager going to stay in a job?
There's another question to ask here though. Is he was willing to walk on Celtic, and he was willing to do it after saying the players are not good enough, the owners and the board are not giving the resources he wants. Which means he's willing to go into these interviews and say, yeah, they weren't giving me what I asked for. I'm not going to work under that scenario. So what are you giving me to make me comfortable to come here to you? Now, if that's not a Prem team, because they will come with some restrictions, especially if it's a lower Prem team, he might actually fancy a higher championship team or someone who has that sort of attitude about them, like Birmingham, who will be putting in the money over a couple of seasons and then go into the Prem. And he might also be thinking, once you're in the Prem, they're going to keep doing it. They will have the funds, they'll do it. So it might be a little bit more long-term strategy, but that might be an idea that I want to go somewhere where I'm going to get the funds and I'm going to be able to run it my way.
So here's a real quick. I'll read this because this looks tasty. So there's a statement made by one of the board members. What was the name? Dermot Desmond. I believe he's one of the Celtic board members.
Very Scottish.
Yes. When we brought Brendan back to Celtic 2 years ago, it was done with complete trust and belief in his ability to lead the club into a new era of sustained success. Unfortunately, his conduct and communication in recent months have not reflected that trust. In June, both Michael Nicholson and I expressed to Brendan that we were keen to offer him a contract extension. He said he would need to think about it. Yet in subsequent press conferences, Brendan implied that the club had made no commitment to offer him a contract, and that was simply untrue. Player signed and every player sold during his tenure was done so with Brendan's full knowledge, approval, and endorsement. So any insinuation otherwise is absolutely false. So they're not missing words with Timmy. They're not happy with. I think it was inevitable. I mean, obviously, it definitely gotten to a point where something's got to give here.
I wouldn't believe that statement.
I probably wouldn't either.
I think the key was it was in the summer when he had a year to run on of his contract, and that didn't get sorted out, and he wouldn't sign it.
Yeah.
And Brendan Rodgers is a level of a manager where the club's got to come to him with ambition.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So sorry to cut you off. That was Celtic's majority shareholder, Dermot Desmond. Okay, sorry.
But what I'm saying with Brendan Rodgers is if he sat down with the board they're not going to, in their statement, sort of air the dirty laundry, but I'm sure it was a case of he sat down with them and said, right, okay, what's the ambitions? What are the budgets we're looking at for the next 12, 20, 24 months? They probably sat down and said, well, it's this and that, and we might have to sell a few players, because let's face it, they haven't spent an awful lot of money. They have sold some players as well.
Yeah.
He probably looked at that and thought, I know where I can tell which way the wind's blowing here. I'm going to be expected to win every single game, because that's what is expected at Celtic, and I'm going to be expected to win it with not the best team in the division. I'm going to have to, scrimp and scrape away. And he probably thought, do you know what? No, thanks.
Yeah, I'm not going to be your scapegoat.
I'm not going to be your scapegoat. He's got a reputation intact that if it was there for the season, he left us free. I think the key is he hasn't stayed to take what money, he hasn't stayed to get a payout. He's resigned.
Right.
He's basically said, don't pay me any money. Come off.
I don't need your money. I just don't need this either.
I think the other thing with Rodgers, though, he is a philosophy manager in the sense of he will go to the next club that suits the way he coaches and plays. So it kind of limits where he goes as well. And I have no doubt he will have his eye on. I think he even did a press conference where he said he would like to manage abroad. I wouldn't be shocked to see him go and manage in mainland Europe somewhere, maybe in the Italian league or French league or German league or something like that. It would not shock me. But I think there'll be a lot of Premier League clubs that will have him on a hit list if the opportunity came around where they needed to look at a head coach / manager. He would be on a lot of people's sort of top three.
Yeah, that's an interesting one for sure. So apparently Martin O'Neill is taking over at Celtic as the interim until they find a permanent manager. So he's a manager with some a good background at least experience, So be interesting if he does
He's
anything.
a bit mad though, isn't he? Have you listened to him recently? He's about as mad as a box of frogs, isn't he, these days, to be fair to him?
I don't mind. I like him. I like Martin O'Neill.
I do like him.
I've heard him. I've listened to him a few times there on what's he on? Like what day of the week? He comes on one of the days of the week on with Simon Jordan and the other Fruit Loop. But yeah, they I don't mind Martin O'Neill.
He's definitely a pundit. You're kind of okay. What am I going to get today?
Yeah,
you will like his take some days, and it'll sound amazing, and other days you're going, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. So I guess sorry for not knowing this. Has he? I assume he's managed Celtic before. Okay, I didn't know, so I just assumed that. But since they're bringing him in as an interim, but
wasn't he manager? I may be completely wrong here, but wasn't he manager when they had Henrik Larsson at their heyday?
I have no idea.
Possibly, I don't know. But yeah, he's been manager there a long time ago, been very successful.
Okay. Yeah,
but he's like you said, Paddy. He's one of those pundits where I always listen to him and think he's incredibly knowledgeable about football, but you just think, you can tell you've come from the Brian Clough school a little bit because you are a little bit mad. So if you were playing in that dressing room, you don't know whether he's going to hug you or throw a boot at you. He's one of those.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, what else we got, guys? We've touched on a lot of that stuff. I guess we go through the fixture. We haven't done that yet. If you want to do a rundown of the weekend, I mean, we've kind of hit and miss, jumped around, but we can go through some of the
Well, it was a double set of matches, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, since our last, that's right. We've got to hit the
Yeah.
midweek ones too, don't we? Okay, so let me pull up the championship fixtures. Do you have it? Can you pull it up on your screen, Patty, or do you want me to just go off my
Yeah,
phone?
I can. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll let Patty pull that up. But yeah, it was some pretty, I mean, to be honest, wild results, but seems like there always is now. I mean, you know,
Okay. So,
okay.
back. I've got round 11 here. Some midweek matches.
Okay.
Right. So Tuesday night, then we had Blackburn Rovers lost 3-1 to Sheffield United. Derby County won 1-0 to Norwich. Hull City won 2-1 versus Leicester City. That was a good result. Ipswich Town lost 3-0 to Charlton Athletic.
What's the chances anybody in the world actually bet on that result? got the exact 3-0. Like,
do you see the stats of that game?
Oh, it was unbelievable. Yeah, I can run through it real quick.
Yeah,
You look at
all over them.
You look at the stats and you just go, how on earth is that ended 3-0 to Charlton?
Unbelievable.
I have them here. Do you want them?
I've got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, go on.
So 68% possession to Ipswich, 2.31 expected goals to 1.43, 31 total shots to 15, but only 5 shots on target, where Charlton had 8 on target. So it was just the quality of the shot. That was where they lacked. They just couldn't get anything. And I think that's probably the Nathan Jones effect, right? It's a good defensive. They're solid defensively, and they're gonna.
2 of the goal scorers were defenders, so set pieces.
Set pieces, yeah. Yep. And the goals came in the 52nd, 55th, and 64th. Boom, boom, boom. Game over. I mean, I talk about getting hit with a brick. You know what I mean? Like you got to go into the second half thinking, okay, we're gonna get a goal here at some point, and then all of a sudden, whack.
Did you did you hear the funny story about Nathan Jones in that game? By the way,
No, I haven't.
I think it was this. I'm pretty sure it was this game. He apparently spent the entire game with an Ipswich fan behind the dugout, basically shouting to him, saying his Charlton side were the worst effing side he had ever seen play football there. And apparently on the final whistle, instead of shaking hands and talking, he went looking for that fan behind the dugout. Couldn't find him, apparently.
I wouldn't have waited until the end. I would have gone over to him with the 3-0.
Yeah. I'm going to say, if it had been me, I would have stood there and said, come on, Nathan, bring it.
How do you like me now?
Wow. That's
okay.
funny.
Right. Then we have Millwall 2 versus Stoke. Portsmouth lost 2-1 versus Coventry. Preston North End lost 1-0 to Birmingham. Bristol City won 3-1 versus Southampton. So that was Tuesday.
What was anything from that game? I mean, for your game, John, was just a snatch and grab type thing. You just got in there, got a point, got out of there. What was it?
No, a lot of people have sort of looked at it and gone, "Oh, it must have been a smash and grab by Birmingham." It wasn't. We were the better side in the first half. Their manager had a meltdown after, apparently we committed murder on the pitch, and apparently we punched balls in the net and everything. We scored from a set piece, which was unlike us, and we didn't play our normal possession based football. We kind of had brought on big guys and we defended it out. We kind of went to Preston. We kind of figured out what Preston were going to do, which was launch the ball into Michael Smith and every other big guy they had. They had no finesse about them. So Davis essentially tactically just went, okay, brought on defenders, brought on Cash, and we had Newman and Clara. We just headed everything out, and they had nothing else. So, albeit, yes, you could, on the stats, it probably looked a bit smash and grabby in that Preston were all over us in that second half, but it was all
Well, I mean, not to disagree with you, but from what you just said, it sounded a bit smash and grabby. set piece goal, we won 1-0 away, and then we defended.
But they were comfortable.
A smash and grab is basically when you're on the You're on the back foot. You're on the
I'm
defense.
giving
You're hanging on for your dear life.
I'm giving you a hard time. I think that one. See, I had you to draw on the Saturday before you end up losing, and then I had you to lose this one and you end up winning it. So yeah, I didn't quite get your guys' picks right.
The thing I was more surprised about, that was Preston's first home loss of the season, which I was unaware they were unbeaten at home going into that game.
They've been really good. I see that they're another team that, like, I still expect them to drop off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like at some point they're going to drop off. You know what I mean? Like, they've got to.
Well, this season makes no sense because we've won away at Blackburn, which, you know, we never win away at Blackburn. I think they said it was like the 40 years since we last won away at Blackburn. Yeah. And I think we haven't won away at Preston for a similar amount of time. We won away at Preston. And then, you know, we go and lose to places we usually do good at. So the season makes no sense.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So then we moved on to the Wednesday night for the remaining matches. We have Swansea City lost 1-0 to QPR. Watford.
I think they got a red card early in that game, if I remember right. I know they got a red card. I think it was early on. So they struck. Yeah, they were in trouble.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Watford won 2-1 versus West Brom.
Yeah.
Wrexham won 1-0 versus Oxford. We got a red card in that one as well.
Yeah.
And
what was your opinions on the red card, by the way? Because I sort of dabbled in the watch along, and Josh was adamant it was never a red card, and I was like, I see what you mean, but in this day and age, it's a red card.
It was an orange.
Yeah. It was one of those.
It was an orange.
It was low. It wasn't high, but it was a bit reckless.
Yeah.
He caught him on the foot. It was late. You know what I mean? So it's like, it probably is a red, especially nowadays.
Yeah. I called it
my biggest problem. Here's my biggest problem with it. He didn't even need to make the challenge. He's literally running away from the goal. There was no you could have just let him go. You didn't need to make that challenge. You know what I'm saying? So that was my biggest problem with that whole situation. It's disappointing. You know, he's young though. He'll learn from it. So
the reason I had no issue calling it a red, even though, like, okay, I was kind of in between, was simply the speed he was coming in at. He was coming in fast, which means that as soon as he was sliding with that foot up, he was out of control. He was not in control of his movement. And I would have seen some refs hand out a yellow for that with like a stern warning, do anything for the rest of this match, you're gone type thing. But yeah, I can see it being given as a straight red.
See, Michael's making the point. He wasn't on a yellow, which I understand. What Parky actually said, Parkinson's biggest problem, it was his first foul of the game. That's what Parky didn't like about it. He said, for what Parkinson said out in the post game was, a more experienced manager takes a step back, gives it a second, thinks about it, and says, that's probably a yellow. This isn't a player that's been out of control. You know what I mean? It's not like it was building and it got worse. And I kind of agree with that, like, because it was
an absolute load of bollocks.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
the thing you got to say is that what they go with on those sort of challenges, shall we say, was he out of control? Yes. Did he endanger an opponent? Yes. You know, was it reckless? Yes. It's kind of like the three strikes. It's unfortunately in my world, no, it's not a red card. You'd say, yeah, it's a yellow card. But football isn't like that anymore. In this day and age, by the letter of the law, it's a red card.
Yeah. Interestingly, it's not absolutely confirmed, but it was said by Mark Griffiths that he's after getting a 3-match ban. So I don't know if that's officially confirmed or not. I thought it wasn't that reckless that it deserved a 3. I thought 2 would have been fine.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Because I read the rules, so yeah.
He's out for 3 for sure. So
isn't it a 3-game ban if it's like
it's supposed to be if it's like deliberately trying to hurt someone,
endangering opponents,
including like spitting and headbutting and stuff like this. So from that point of view, I actually thought it was landing in the 2-match zone for me. But I guess just the recklessness of the sliding at speed without control.
I think the problem is I think that's the problem. I think that's think that's the problem with the whole situation. If you're giving that as a red, it has to be a 3. Does that make sense? I think if you're given that challenge as a red card, it has to be the 3. And I think
I don't agree with that.
I think that's
not with the way the rules are actually written.
well,
But
but
we all know they don't follow the rules the way they're written. That's my problem with the rule book. It's like you were saying there, and Parky saying, "Oh well, it's early in the match." I don't care if it's early in the match.
Well, it wasn't not that it was early in the match. It was just he hadn't committed a foul the whole game.
Doesn't matter. It's like if my first foul is in the 89th minute, but I snap a guy's leg, you can't send me off, ref, because that's my first tackle
did he
of the game.
It, though? Did he deserve
Right,
it?
exactly. No, it just really boils my blood when managers come out with that sort of stuff, because it's just like,
but to be fair, that fucking ref was shit. So
he was crap.
He was horrible.
The only thing is, though, and this is something I have said numerous times, players should be faster at figuring out what style of ref he is and just playing to the ref. If you know this asshole is going to give everything, then you go for the fouls from him. You fucking fall over with a blow, like gust of wind. Fall over and get a foul. You have to play to that. If he's not going to give anybody yellow cards and he's not going to give fouls, then get your ass up off the ground. I don't care how hard he kicked you. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to play with the ref you got.
The O'Brien challenge versus Darby was way worse. so you get some, so there you go. You get some,
I would say in both those instances, neither O'Brien or Doyle went with any intention to hurt the player. They were just mistimed. They weren't, it wasn't sort of malicious, shall we say. He didn't go to do him, if you know what I mean.
Right. I think the difference being, because O'Brien's was so high, it caught him so high.
Yeah.
Whereas the Doyle one, he catches him on the foot. You know what I mean? It's not like he got him high up on the ankle or anything. I mean, it was on his foot. So I think that's
for me though, with that challenge, his studs were too high. Even though it was coming in on his foot/ankle, it's like his foot was up. It wasn't toe first. It was studs first.
Yeah. I think, like you said, Paddy, the thing that done him was the pace, because the referee would have looked at the pace and the velocity that he had made the impact, and straight away he would have gone, well, he's not in control of that. He can't be.
Yeah.
And when, of course, obviously the contact was made and there was no ball, it was kind of a no-brainer almost. It was just like, well, you go in at that force and you don't hit the ball, and you've took the man on sort of the ankle, and that in this day and age, it's actually a simple decision for the referee.
Yeah.
But how bad were Oxford? I know, Josh.
I'm going to be straight honest with you. I thought they were the worst team we played all season, and I thought they looked like a mid-table League One team.
Yeah,
I thought this team is not good at all. How have they beaten anybody? How have they gotten any points against anybody? They
were woeful, I thought, and I think some people in chat, and Josh was getting quite nervous, as you do as your own team, as you was 1-0 up. And I was like in the chat going, don't worry, you could play for another week and these guys aren't scoring, because they are honestly absolutely ass. I was really shocked how bad they were, because I remember watching them v Leicester some months back or whatever it was, and they were really good. And I don't know what the hell's happened to them. They had no belief. They were so passive. It was just awful. I was nervous going into the game, and then it was just watching. I was like, God, these guys are horrible. They're not good at all. They were. They looked disinterested. They did. And it was a really poor game. I mean, from them, I thought we played really well, but I mean, when you're playing against a team that's playing that bad, you're going to look good. I thought you played really well first half. I thought you were pretty poor second half, but I thought we were playing with 10 men second. But it wasn't all second half, was it? Most of it. They did come out hot. They came out like 10 minutes. Yeah. They started that second half pretty hot. But I mean, he changed everything. He changed formation. He threw extra attackers on. He was coming after us. So they were always going to look a little on the front. They were coming out on the front foot, so you did expect that a little bit. But I thought we were just about to start. I thought we were getting back on top of it. Yeah, about the time the red card happened. I thought we were. It just felt like you get that feeling in the match. It's like, okay, we're
we're slowing them down. We're getting a little more of the ball here, and then all of a sudden, red card. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Bruce said it here, but it did actually feel like we started playing better with 10 men than we had at the start of the
I
second
tell you
half.
what, I think the best chances of the game came right at the end.
Yeah.
You know, when Smith had a couple really good chances when we were at 10 men. So,
We
yeah,
did the same against Hull. We went down to 10 men and we looked the most attacking team I've seen all season with one less man. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what the hell's going on here? He was just mad.
yeah. Oh, shoot.
Okay, so moving on to weekend's matches.
Yeah.
Okay. So weekend's matches started Friday night with Preston North End
What a
versus
match.
Sheffield United. Now,
Unreal.
for anybody who didn't see that match, hear about it, that was a crazy match. I forgot to put my picks in for Friday night. I was on with John. and I was told Sheffield United were up 2-0. I was like, crap. I was going to put my results in without watching the match. And then, so I ignored that one. And I was thinking, ooh, if I don't put a result in, I get the away team. And I'm like, Sheffield are winning. That's okay. I'll win that one. And then it turns out they lose 3-2 after being 2-0 up.
Yeah.
And I get nothing.
It was unbelievable. Like, what in the world? That it was such a strange thing. Like, and it came out of nowhere. Like, it was like, I thought, okay, the Sheffield United are comfortable here. You know what I mean? Like, they're feeling good. And then I think it was, was it the Tanganga own goal? Was that the first goal?
No, the first goal was Dobbin, wasn't it? Right on the stroke of half time.
45 plus 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you said, Sheffield were in complete control of that game, and the game was done.
Yeah.
And then, to be fair, they scored that goal before, and it was. And when I watched it live, and I sat there and just went, the goalkeeper's got to do more. It felt like it went a bit past him, a bit too easy for me. But everyone says it was a really good hit. But I just thought, you concede that goal right on the stroke of half time. That's the worst time to concede, and it just gives them something when they had absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what time the Tatanga goal was scored? Tananga.
It was right.
Tanganga.
Wasn't it? It was right after. It was like, what, 30 seconds in or
46
something?
minutes. First minute
right
of the second half. So they scored one literally before the whistle blows in the first half. Then they come out and they hammer them with an OG within like 30 seconds to a minute of the restart.
I missed it. I went to get a beer and I came back and it was 2-2. I was like, when did that happen?
And you know what? The worst thing about that is, I'm sure there was plenty of people in the stadium who actually left early just before the whistle to go and get a couple of beers and a pie, finished their beer, came in late and missed both goals. And they walked back to their seat and it's 2-2.
Yeah, imagine that sat down. All right, it's 2-2. Yeah, nice one. And then
you're a Sheffield fan. You decide to have a beer to drown your sorrows. Oh, they got one goal back, and then you're almost finished and you hear the other goal go in. You're like, for fuck's sake.
Oh, shoot.
And then, of course, to rub salt in the wounds, the goal scorer of the third goal.
Jefferson.
Was it Jefferson? Wasn't it?
Jefferson,
yeah.
And of course, who Sheffield United released in the summer, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, he had to be loving that one.
Okay, then we're on to Saturday's matches. Coventry City won 3-1 versus Watford. Ipswich Town won 1-0 versus West Brom. Portsmouth lost 1-0 to Stoke. Blackburn Rovers won 2-1 versus Southampton, giving them a couple of points. Bristol City won 1-0 versus Birmingham. Derby County won 1-0 versus QPR. Hull City had a draw with Charlton, 1-1. Middlesbrough had a draw with Wrexham, 1-1. Millwall 1-0 win versus Leicester. Sheffield Wednesday lost 2-1 to Oxford. And Swansea City won 2-1 versus Norwich.
John, any thoughts on your game against Bristol?
I tend to be the minority on this one. A lot of Birmingham, I say a lot, quite a few on social media sort of disagree with me. A lot of people seem to think we dominated the game, and if you look at the stats, it would suggest we did. But I didn't think we really troubled Bristol at all. I mean, we did our usual, where we were in complete control of the game without actually really making the keeper make many saves. We put a lazy pass, and then literally a guy that has never not scored all season runs on a counter attack out of the blue and scores, and you just think only could happen to us. But no, we didn't really trouble them, to be honest. Even though we had all the possession, everything was in front of them, they were comfortable. But a lot of Birmingham fans seem to think actually, you know, we controlled the game and looked the far more superior footballing side against a side that are in the top six and lost to a breakaway goal.
I'll give you this stat, and I think it sums up your season: 13 total shots, 1 on target.
Yep.
And that's you had
but again, they're not
possession, had all the possession, but I just didn't do that. I think that's kind of been your story this season.
Yeah. But then again, as somebody said, you've got Preston away and Bristol away in a row, and you take 3 points from it.
Yeah.
You kind of got to be happy because realistically, you said if you get 2 draws and get 2 points out of those 2 games, you'd be like, yeah, that would be a good return. So to get 3, I can't really complain.
Right. That's fair. And then I guess our game. Oh no, I don't know if you talked about it yet, Patty. Had you had a chance?
Not too much really.
I mean, you did the post game, I guess. You did the.
I did. Yeah. I'll just hit the stats here for a sec. I'll 2 minutes. So 69% possession to Middlesbrough, which is exactly what we want. 31% to us. I'm not going to do that shitty XG. Total shots for them 14 and 6 to us. We both had 1 big chance. Now our goal was interesting, came early in the match, and it actually came from a short corner, which I hate. We never do short corners, and we're crap at them. But interestingly, we just went from the short corner, passed it over to Windass. Windass was in a nice spot outside the box on the left-hand side, and he just turned and took a shot.
I think
perfect position for him.
I want to say that's the second one he scored off a short corner too. Very similar type of. I can't remember. It was like I don't know if it was the Southampton. It was early in the season. He scored one off a short corner. Maybe
short
not.
Corner pass
there was
him.
somebody. It was the same thing. It was they passed into somebody else, and then it's to Windass, and he's just on the edge of the box and rips one.
So George says here, Windass had so much space.
Yeah.
And it's in fairness, it's because we do not take short corners.
No,
we're known for crossing them in and trying to get ahead on them. So it's not a terrible idea. He's very good from that position. Now, in this case, I actually think the keeper would have got it if the defender hadn't interfered.
Hadn't got a piece of it.
Yeah, it was kind of in a good position. It looked like the keeper was tracking it well. So pretty sure he would have got that reasonably easily. But different shot, different time, and he can score from those distances. But these things happen, and this is something I think we need to do a little bit more: is get it into those dangerous positions and make the keeper work for it, because anything can happen, and it did. The defender got a touch on it, changed the trajectory up. Keeper was just left flat-footed; he couldn't go after it, and just saw it go straight in. So. In a way, you can call it a lucky goal, but look, these things happen. You need to make strong shots and deflections and OGs and all this sort of carry on goes on. They didn't give it to the player because it was an on-target shot anyway. And it was overall a good chance. We didn't have that many in the game overall, but it was one of those as well. I don't think we pressed as hard as we would have if we hadn't scored. I think we took just a little bit off it to be slightly more defensive, even though we were still trying in general the way we do. But I think they could have pressed a little bit harder, but their defense was excellent.
What I thought was interesting. I'll be honest. I thought we were fantastic in the first half. I thought we were. I know we didn't have the possession, but we felt comfortable the whole first half. You never felt like they were scoring. And then they made like 4 changes or something silly at halftime.
I
he
think
changed
I'll check it here.
everything.
I thought it was 3, but someone has said 4 since. So
He
no, it was 4. It was 4.
they changed it. Went to a back three, changed formation, changed everything.
Yeah.
Which back three is kind of his. That's kind of his bread and butter, isn't it?
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
I think that's what's his name? Rob
Edwards. Yeah. Back
Edwards.
three
Yeah.
wing backs. Yeah.
That's his go to, and they looked once they did that, they did look better. But I still think we had the best chance of the game, which was Kiefer's free header that he knocks off the crossbar.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I
He
thought that was in
really
for
should have
sure.
got that. He should have
Oh,
gotten that. That was a poor miss.
absolutely.
That
Yeah.
was almost as bad a miss as Longman's open goal scenario
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
the
it was.
match before.
It absolutely was, and that I think that's the story of our season. I think it's we've dropped 11 points from winning positions, which is it's not good. You know what I mean? I mean, it shows that we're good enough to be ahead of teams, and we should be getting more points than what we're getting,
Yeah.
which you can look at it as a positive, but also negatively too. I mean, it's you don't want to be dropping that many points.
I personally look at it as a positive.
Yeah,
because we have the ability to win the matches.
right. At some point, you would expect those to. You're going to start getting
Yeah.
those. You know what I mean?
And the reason I do kind of, in a way, see it as a positive is because one of our problems this season is our players are getting tired at the end of the match. We just don't have the full depth often. And Parky plays them a little bit too long. And we're up against teams who have a solid championship team and they've got younger players, fitter players. We are back to being the slightly older, more experienced team with slightly less legs. And it's going to hurt them even more at the end of the match. So for me, that is why you kind of end up losing those matches a little bit later. And we are losing them in the later parts of the match. And look, it's something we will fix. If not now, maybe we'll fix some of it in January. But overall, yeah, I'm happy enough with it.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic with it. I said if we get 1 point out of these next 2 league matches, I'm happy. And so and I think we both did because it was if you get the 1 point, you're in good shape. I mean, it kind of puts us ahead of a point per game now over the 3. You know, from Oxford. I think we were talking prior to the Oxford game. If you can get 3 points from the Oxford game, then you feel like okay, at least.
Okay.
If you lose the next 2, you've gotten 1 point per game over the 3. Now with a draw there, you know you're better you've done better than that at least. So if you lose, there's obviously there's no shame in losing against Coventry. They're a great team. So I think it wouldn't be surprising if we lost against them. But I think depending on how things go tomorrow, maybe we get that magic going back at the Kairas and get guys are feeling confident and maybe do something good. And I'll tell you what, speaking of that match, I know we're kind of talking about the Middlesbrough match, but speaking of that match tomorrow, I was just looking at some of their results where they've lost, Cardiff that is, and they've been heavy on possession and just not creating any chances, where they've had the ball and not been able to create any chances. And I'm like, God, I love it. That sounds like it suits us to the ground. So it sounds like they're going to go probably I think they'll end up going pretty strong lineup wise. Sounds like we're going to make some changes though, which I think we're going to need it to anyway. But so we'll see.
Talking about changes, we do have an injury to talk about. But before that, there's a comment here from Esteban I just want to bring up. It's about the goal and short corners. Esteban says he vehemently disagrees about the short corners. It's something a little more creative and fun. Besides Ratbone Screamer versus Charlton last year, came off a short corner. It was featured heavily in Welcome to Wrexham. Now, just to be clear for anyone who isn't sure, I don't dislike the short corners the way Esteban maybe thinks I do. I don't like them because we're crap at corners. in general. Simple as that. I think we absolutely need to up our free kick and corner and set piece game, because that is terrible for us. And especially this season where we might be a little light on the energy at the end of the match. You know, you want to be threatening with the set pieces much, much more than we do. We absolutely need a proper set piece coach to come in and do something with these guys. The corners as well, they're crap in general.
So you kind of mentioned it there. We got an injury to talk about. Brunt goes down. Sounds like it's a long-term one. They're waiting to see if he needs surgery or not. They're not sure. I think he's going to go. I think Parky said he's going to go to a specialist. So something in his thigh. So I don't know what exactly. I mean, he didn't really go too deep into it, but obviously like a quad.
It was serious, yeah.
Serious one. He's going to be out for a while. We won't see Brunt for a while.
Parky does not talk about injuries like that unless it's serious, and they're gone for a while. Otherwise, he'd say nothing.
Yeah,
he'd just let it wait and see.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, when Scar came on, I thought, oh God,
but
I don't like this. I don't like this. But I will give him credit where credit is due. I thought Scar was fantastic. I thought he played great. He played within himself. He didn't try to do too much. You know what I mean? He knows what he's good at, and he did that, and he kind of stuck to it.
Yeah.
Here's the question, and Michael just kind of, does he go back to Connor Cody in the middle
against Coventry?
I mean, it's okay. It's Connor Cody or Dan Scar. I don't know.
Play it back don't bother.
Play it back. I mean, you know what? I'm not against that. I'm not against that. I would not be against the back two.
After the way Scar played, I think he's going to do exactly the same. He's going to put Scar in the middle, and he's going to move Hyam out.
Okay, here's the next question. Who plays tomorrow? I think surely he sits Hyam in the back three.
Thomason apparently can play in the back three, but I think he plays the middle.
I was trying to think. I was trying to figure out.
That's the problem, though, because who's plays? I think you put Cody in the cup. Put Cody in the cup.
Cody plays in the middle tomorrow.
Make Cody play in the cup and prove himself again, and treat him like, sorry boy, you're gonna have to prove yourself. You're with the.
So then who plays? So if Hyam
and then Scar and Hyam the match after the league match.
Okay, but who plays in the back three tomorrow? Who's the back three tomorrow?
Cool.
So we've got a bit of a problem in the. We're down to 4.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. Hyam moves out to the left. We don't have anyone else.
Right, he's the one that moved out to the left.
He's the one that moves out to cover it.
Right, and also, so do you play Max? So
Hyam
and that means Max has got to play too.
Yeah. That's it. You're in, boys. Every match till January.
Or do you just say, you know what? Here's a chance to let the 3 play together and get used to it and play Scar again, and just. If you think that's who you're going with against Coventry, do you just play the 3 of them? I don't know.
Cody needs a match. Cody needs a match, and Scar is too slow, and back-to-back matches. You wouldn't want to do that to him either.
Coventry don't play, do they, midweek?
No, they don't.
So you can't ask Scar to go sort
Max will play on the left.
So let me ask this. I'm. You know what? It's not a bad shout. I could see Scar playing on the right. I could see him playing Cody and Scar together, which makes me even that much more nervous.
I mean, realistically, it'll be a combination of all of them, and he'll probably rotate them against Cardiff, won't he? They'll probably get like half or 60 minutes, and then he'll rotate the ones which that will start on Friday. They'll come off, and then the other, or vice versa. But I mean, you can't be in a position where Connor Cody is against Hadji Wright or Thomas Asante in that attacking Coventry line, because
I would I think I might have started this because somebody made this comment earlier. Just think, so yeah, here it is. This was from earlier, George Johnson. Just think Scar endlessly beating on Coventry players in our box. And I actually, that's a nightmare for me. Scar against Badgie Wright and against, I mean, the speed that they have.
Yeah.
So that scares me, man. I mean, we'll have to sit really deep, I think.
But you'd be more scared if it was Connor Cody with his pace compared to Scar's. Like that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know.
Look, nobody knows what is the problem or the situation with Connor Cody. Mm-hmm. He needs to play in the cup match tomorrow.
Yeah,
we're out of players. He needs to step up and he needs to show he's good enough to get back into the lineup. We do kind of need him now. He needs to be in there. He needs to be available.
I mean, because right now
he needs to show off.
Here's the thing: he's going to have to be in the. Maybe he doesn't start against Coventry. He's absolutely got to be in the team though.
Yeah,
because we only have 4 center backs and we play 3. So I mean, we're down to 4 because Brunt's hurt, Doyle's suspended for the next 2.
Yeah.
So. We've only got the 4 right now, and so it is a bit of a dilemma.
Unless,
like you said, if Thomason or somebody
Thomason
else
is your last choice, unless Parky has seen him in training,
and there may be others that could.
There might be a surprise.
Okay,
there might be a surprise here if Thomason ends up in the back row.
What about? I mean, I'm just throwing random shit. I mean, what about could you play Matty James played in the middle of the 3? I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing. I don't know that he's ever done it. I have no idea. I'm just throwing names out.
You'd probably, if you were going to play like a defensive midfielder and as a makeshift defender, you would have them either left or right side of a back 3. You wouldn't have them in the middle. And
which is what he usually did when to that point. That's what we usually did when we played when what's his name would drop back. Stash would come back and play. He'd play on the left side of the 3.
Yeah.
Of course, he's not an option anymore. So he's at Peterborough, who just sacked their manager. Which interestingly sounds like Luke Williams is getting that job. Did you hear that? Luke Williams strongly linked to get the Peterborough job.
I don't really pay attention to lower league football. So.
It just popped in my stuff today. I hear you.
But no, I think the one thing you'd have to say is with your defensive problems and suspensions and that, Connor Cody's probably going to have to play some part against Coventry because I assume because Scar hasn't played a lot of football, he's not going to last 90 minutes, is he? And he will have to play some part on Tuesday. So it's going to be. It sounds like he's going to have to do a bit of a rotation around in both games.
It wouldn't it be? I mean, would be wild if he went to a back 4.
Actually, Esteban's mate raised a good point about Doyle.
Sorry, I missed it. What did he say? No. From what I understand, no, because it's the EFL. Because it's the EFL Cup.
But if he's not allowed to play, then it counts as one of his matches.
Yeah, it counts as one of the. Yeah, okay. So the last one would be Coventry. Yeah. The last game would be Coventry that he can't play, and then he's back after that. So that relieves a little bit of that, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just double checked it there. Yeah, that is correct. It does carry over and can be used, or as in can't be used. So it will be a match. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So what? Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually better. He loses a cup match though. But obviously we got injuries now. But in general, it would have been better to miss out a cup and 2 leagues.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how this goes. I mean, I think probably is Scar against Coventry, Scar in the middle, Time on the left, and Max on the right. I do worry about tomorrow though. Because I think if we had all our players, you're sitting probably at least 2 of the 3 that would be playing against Coventry, and the other one gets subbed off halfway through or 60 minutes or something like John said. You protect that back three a little bit, but with only having 4, I mean, you've got to play them unless one of the other players, like we were talking about, unless one of the other players can do a job.
Yeah, I think Parkinson also. I mean, he ain't daft. He's been around the block enough. He'll know that he won't be able to pick a similar starting 11 for Friday because you won't be able to go against the Coventry. The Coventry game. You're going to need to run a lot because they'll make you run and chase after them a lot. So you're going to need energy. So I would imagine it'll be like 10 changes possibly or whatever it is.
I literally could not remember his name for the life of me, and Josh, calling him Stash, popped in my head. Like it's ridiculous. I mean, and it's only people that watch this channel would call him.
Know what Stash is. Yeah.
I'm sure there's people watching that weren't watching around, watching when he was playing for us. They're like, what? I don't know who's Stash.
There was a great episode where Mark was on and Josh was talking about Stash, and he was so confused.
Trying to look professional, but not say.
I know, yeah. He was like, you could tell he was trying to work it out.
Trying to work it out, yeah. Well, because by then I think the mustache was already gone. Like he didn't even have it anymore. It didn't even make sense. Oh shoot! This is so good. Yeah. Anywho. Was there anything?
John,
I know we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
That we did talk about beforehand was the Wednesday situation.
Yeah. I was about to say to John, we both picked a Wednesday bounce and they lost the match.
Yeah.
I could say we both lost our houses, wouldn't we? So.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
They were 2-0 up, weren't they?
Yeah. Oxford were so bad against us. I thought, you know what, Wednesday could win this game.
Yeah.
Wednesday looked way better than Oxford did. I mean, I thought. I couldn't believe what I. So I totally thought Wednesday we're going to get a bounce off of that.
I think the best part of that game was the video that was played on the big screen at Sheffield
Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought that was I applaud that.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked that. It wasn't even an hour after they announced that they're ripping the Chen Series seats out of there immediately. But good on the Wednesday fans. I think they said they spent like $200,000 in the club shop within like the 24 hours.
Well, in fairness though, they had called for a boycott of buying.
Yeah, they had boycotted everything
at the start of the summer. Yeah. So they got very little revenue from the New Jersey sales. They must have had them in the back storage rooms overflowing, waiting. And I'd say a load of people obviously went in and bought their jerseys for the year.
I think there's a rumor going around that they might get sold by the new year, possibly. I think the latest thing I heard.
Well, I'm sure they've got plenty of suitors. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody's going to want in on that, I would think. Do we have any U21 players we can bring up? Aaron James would have been the obvious one, but he's hurt. So
yeah, no one else.
So I don't know
stepping up for the defense.
Yeah, I don't. Unless they bring one up from, I mean, they could. I mean, they could bring one up that we've not seen out of the academy or something.
You're not going to do that against Cardiff. Against a different League One side, you might do, but not a game like that.
Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we have one that would be anywhere good enough anyway. I have no idea.
Doesn't appear so as far as we're aware.
Yeah, we've not heard of any. I have not heard of any. So,
but yeah, we were talking about Wednesday, not actually the cup again. Apparently, the administrator had received phone calls within an hour of it being announced, with groups who wanted to be involved in a potential purchase. They were just waiting. This is what we expected.
Yeah, everybody was waiting for administration, and that, I think we talked about this the other day. Simon Jordan had said it like a year ago on their show. He goes, "No, why would you pay money for it now when you wait till it goes in administration and then get it?
Yeah. Why would you do a Chancery?
I'm gonna say, you imagine trying to pick up a phone call from that guy. Come on.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I mean, I still think the best thing I ever saw was when a fan wrote a complaint email, didn't they, to the club about his ownership and what was going on, and they literally got an email back from actually Chansiri, and it was legitimately him, and it was I mean, granted, he's obviously not English, so he's English, but you can tell it's just a proper rant reply. It's like the keyboard's getting smashed as those keys are like being pressed, and it was just like, you don't know what you're talking about. Basically, if you want me to, sell your house rather than sell, all this sort of stuff. I remember somebody snapshotted and put it on Twitter. I was just like, it's comedy gold. That's going to live forever. That one.
Oh shoot. Well, is there anything else we want to touch on?
What's going on in the chat there? Now back to our problems. Can we assign emergency centre backs like Wednesday did with the keepers? No, but what we could do, and we haven't mentioned, is maybe put Kiefer Moore in there.
There you go. Big Keith. Just head everything out of there.
He does a lot of defensive duties anyway, so just stick him in the back.
Now that's a proper old school move there.
Yeah.
Center forward or center half. He plays both. I like it. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it just is what it is. Guys are gonna have to play and hope we don't pick up any injuries.
I am really looking forward to this cup match. I am. I will be inconsolable if we lose this match, because I want to get through to the next round and have a shot at the Prem team.
I do too. I'm not going to be inconsolable. I'm not going to be that worried about it. I'll be honest. I think it's going to be a very changed 11. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it'll be 11, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's 8 changes. You know what I mean? Like I think I think we'll have a few in there because out of necessity, but I think it's going to be heavily changed. Heavily changed. I don't think it'll be very strong.
We've been changing it around a lot lately anyway. And there's a lot of very good players that need minutes.
That's true.
So it's going to be a strong team tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it'll be fairly strong. And I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it was, I mean, the way it's worked out, you would definitely think O'Brien probably plays tomorrow. And he's one of our best midfielders. But he hasn't. Tomorrow. It's been 2. Yeah, you would think Broadhead. It's probably going to be Broadhead and Smith, which I think a lot of people have been saying they'd like to see. So you probably Broadhead and Smith.
Hardy on
wing backs. Which way do you go, Kakache, or do you save him for Coventry?
On the bench.
I don't know. Yeah, he'll at least be on the bench for sure.
Put him on the bench and Maka. Give Maka a run out.
Maka's probably
Barney.
Maka and Barney
to start.
Maybe that's your start. Maka and Barney. That's not. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's not a bad shout. And I think Maka can do a job against the League One team. Yeah. You know what I mean? He can. And I think the way we'll play tomorrow, I think we're going to sit back and absorb a lot, and they're going to have 75% of the possession, and we're going to beat them 3-0. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I think Cody probably probably is Cody starts. Be interesting if he goes with Hyam and Max next to him, or if he maybe plays Scar on the right or something, because I think Scar can play on the right of the 3. He's just a little slower, but I think he can do it.
But if you play Scar on the right, be interesting. You're putting him. Like, what do you do then with Max?
You should rest him.
Rest him.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta rest somebody. You can only rest one of the 4. So do you rest Max, Hyam, or to me, I think Scar. It makes more sense to play Scar and Cody.
You'd rest Hyam.
Yes, you'd rest Hyam because he'll end up on the bench. But Hyam can cover more positions because we don't know who needs to be swapped out.
Right, that's
true. Or who gets hurt or whatever.
Max
doesn't get a break ever.
Does Max play on the left? As to somebody's point earlier, does Max play on the left? Maybe he does. Actually, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a strange.
Hasn't that Kikachi played centre back before?
You know what? He has.
Can't he just fill in at left centre back?
He did. He has.
Yeah.
He absolutely has.
He's coming off recent injury. He didn't even play the last match.
Yeah,
but you would say against a League One side, albeit it's Cardiff, you'd say it's a double win, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to do a ton of running, at least.
He's not going to get 50 minutes under your belt. All right, it's out of position, but he'll get 50 minutes under his belt, and then you swap around. But I would say you rest high him because he's more important to you.
I'll tell you what.
Kikachi's defense was amazing.
You put Kikachi as the left-sided center back, and then get him on some overlaps. Look out, he's liable to cause some trouble. Get him running forward.
First overlap, he's going to pull his hamstring, and you'll be crying.
Yeah, that'll be all right. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. But yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. You could play him on the left of the three. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do. I'm curious. I'm almost more curious about the lineup on Friday. Obviously he's got a plan. I'd be curious if he stays with the 3-5-1-1 or if he reverts back to the box midfield and be a little more defensive against them. I'll be honest, I thought we looked really good defensively in the 3-5-1-1 against Middlesbrough. So maybe, I know Parkey likes a midfield three, and so he's comfortable with that. So I think it's, he probably plays that if he thinks he can do it. Does that make, I don't know. I don't know how that matches up against Coventry, but we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Good luck for Coventry trying to guess what we're going to put out on Friday.
Yeah, they ain't gonna know. Well, they'll know this. Kiefer Moore will be up front.
To them, it doesn't really matter, though, does it?
No, probably not. They don't,
because they'll know they're going to have 60+% possession.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to have all the ball.
But you know what? Isn't this what all the big teams, all these possession teams do? They say, "Oh, but we'll only give them 30%." What do they do with their 30%? We'll do absolutely nothing for most of the game, and then we'll go and take 2 goals on you.
Yeah, the problem is with Coventry this season, the way they've been going is by the time you get 2 goals, they've probably scored 5. It's against us that you can say that. You say, well, you can have your 70%. Yeah. What you're going to do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, shoot.
It'll be fun, though. Lots of football.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be interesting. Like I said, I was looking at their recent matches because they've actually lost 3 of their last 6. I think one of them was a cup game, and I think they were a pretty heavily changed side. But when they've struggled, they've had all the ball and just not created much, or when they did, they maybe get a lot of shots, but not much on target. You know what I mean? Just it sounds like teams are just playing back and forcing them to break them down, and I think they're struggling to break a few teams down. It looks like that's what happened against. They got beat by Bolton on the weekend, and that was kind of what it was. Here, I can give you I was looking at it earlier, but it was. I thought. Let's see. Here we go. Let me find it. Match stats. So Cardiff had 62% of possession, but they only had 4 total shots and none on target. I mean, just did nothing.
I'm still a little bit surprised how well they're doing. I know, obviously, teams going down from the Championship, you instinctively think they'll do well. I thought they went down in a right mess, to be honest. I thought out of all the teams going down, I thought they were the ones actually in such disarray. I thought they would really struggle, and so it's a bit of a surprise that they're actually doing the best out of all the teams that went down. But I've just noticed your old mates are top of the league, aren't they?
Yeah, I just saw that. Did they play today? I didn't think they were. I feel like they just played. I didn't. Yeah.
I just see a lot of green W's.
Yeah, today. Yeah. So Stockport played today. They beat Port Vale 3-0. They've won 3 on the bounce. So Oh, they're on a good run. Yeah, so they're back top of the league.
Yeah, they won't get 111 points, so it don't matter.
I'm just glad it's not Bradford. God, I hate fucking Bradford. And really, it's not that I hate Bradford. It's just like the one fan that they have. I fucking hate him. That guy. And people, if you know, you know. Fucking hate it.
Stockport, Cardiff, and Bolton could be fun promotions for next season.
Yeah. For sure.
How has our old pal been doing for Bolton?
I don't think he's done much. I don't think they're thrilled.
Well, that's okay because he's only on like a 6-year contract or something.
Yeah. I remember somebody tweeted out. It was like the third game of the season. We got 5 more years of this shit.
No, it was 4 years. Unless I think it was a 4-year contract.
Did any of you
joking?
Did any of you guys see the Exeter Plymouth game midweek last week?
Not. No.
Yeah, I can say I obviously because it's a big derby. I did see a glimpse of it. I can't believe how poor Plymouth are. Even with Cleverley, who I think was a decent manager.
Oh, Plymouth are they're in real trouble.
They're in deep trouble because they generally look awful as well.
They've got to be changing manager soon. I said this when the Peterborough manager was changed, that Plymouth's got to be joining them soon.
Yeah, because Reading got rid of their manager as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
The other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's the four positions going down that's worrying them.
I'm surprised to see Leyton Orient as low down as they are, especially after what they were like last season.
Yeah.
Blackpool down the bottom as well.
That's the one that surprised me the most. I thought they'd actually do well this season.
They just gone and got Ian Evatt as manager, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to help.
No, well, he's an ex-Blackpool player, and so the fans love him.
Yeah, that's fair. There you, Michael. Lost Hardy and Whitaker. Nobody up front for Plymouth. Yeah. There's another one who hasn't played much. He might play tomorrow.
Hardy might go back to them in January.
Might
go back on loan.
They could probably use him. Yeah.
I wouldn't say Luton are struggling, Michael. I just think they've levelled out back to their normal level of mid-table League One.
Yeah.
With parachute money.
Huddersfield are in 9th.
Huddersfield, yeah.
Look at Wimbledon. Wimbledon in 5th. Playing well.
I am. Huddersfield haven't sat their manager yet, have they? Because
I don't
think so.
Is it Lee Grant? I think.
Don't know. I actually thought now I gotta look it up.
Because it is Lee Grant. He's still there, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm amazed at that. Because they spent money this summer, and to be fair, the players they signed in the summer, you kind of looked at it and thought, do you know what? They're trying to do an us, but not on the level, and just sort of go out and buy some really good League One players and sort of just go and win the division. But they look a million miles away.
It's a bit quick to dump a new manager, though. Like they're 9th with a 1.5 point per game. I know it's not amazing if you want to be like top of the table, but sure, yeah, I think there's a bit more time there before you drop him.
I think it's just the performances against the sides that in and around them, if you know what I mean. I think that's where, and I think it's their recent run as well, isn't it? They've been dreadful now for a good few games. I mean, they've lost 3 on the bounce, and I have a sneaky feeling. I mean, they lost 3-0 to Wickham.
They've lost 4.
Is it 4 on the bounce? Is it
4 on the bounce? Yeah. Unless one, because none of those aren't cup games either. Those are league games.
Because I think that for me, that's the damning one is that they lost to Stockport at home 2-1, and they lost to Bolton at home 2-1. 2 teams that you would expect to be challenging.
That Harrogate loss was the EFL Trophy.
Oh, was it? Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay. My bad. But yeah, Wickham, losing to Wickham 3-0. That ain't good. Alfie May's only got 2 goals.
He got sent off on the weekend as well. Probably walked off the pitch and thought, why did I leave Birmingham? What an idiot. Could have been sat on the bench, maybe get the odd minute. Probably would have scored a
the
goal.
way you guys have been swapping and changing guys, he might have played.
Don't start. There's a big thing on social media the other day saying if we still had Alfie May, we would have scored some more goals this season. It's like I love Alfie May. He's wonderful, but for a start, yes, if you give him the chances that Kyogo's had, he's probably scoring a goal or two by now. The only difference is there's no way Alfie May is getting into those positions.
Cases, yeah.
You know, his movement was good, but he ain't that good. So.
Oh wow. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, Luton on parachute payments. They should be in the top 2. But I think they've kind of taken their payments, and it's just like they're just investing in the club. I think it seems like because I don't think they spent a ton in the summer. So
they've just, they've gone a bit. Luton have gone a bit left field, haven't they? Because they got rid of the manager and went and got, is it Jack Wilshere as the manager?
I saw that, yeah.
Which is kind of like, you do feel that, have they fallen into the trap where, a lot of clubs do it, don't they? They try and go and get the new kid on the block, the next guy that's, been apparently a very highly respected coach, making that step into management. They're all trying to gamble and find that, the next Danny Roll or the next Kieran McKenna, aren't they? I just, you just wonder with Luton, is it, it's a big job. They're like you said, with parachute monies, they will be expected to be in the top 2. They're underperformed. Yeah.
So Esteban asked where Mullins at. He's at Wigan. They're 13th in the table. About where you'd expect them, I guess. I don't know how he's done. I guess I would look him up. I think he scored a few goals, but yeah, he scored 3. So he's not their top scorer, but he's just 1 goal behind their top scorer. I don't know how much he's playing though, to be honest. I don't think he's their regular starter. I think he's getting I think he's coming off the bench and stuff. So, yeah. But he's not tearing it up anyway. Let's see. Stockport will come up this season.
Well, it's guaranteed, isn't it?
That's kind of what they do.
Challenge, yeah, it's challenge as well.
Every 2 seasons.
Yeah, they lose in the playoffs or whatever it is, then get promoted automatically the following season or something. That's if they don't lose the manager.
This comment. It's not what it made me remember something I was going to ask. So I misfit. What should you think we might have won some more games with him? I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's the chance. It's just different. It's is he going to go in and dominate like he did against League One players? Probably not. The defenders are just better. But he was good. He was good. He's great, actually. For a 15-minute sub. It's just different,
If we're being honest, if he was still good enough to make an impact, he would still be playing and not retired.
Right. Yeah. Nobody brought him in. Yeah. Exactly. That's fair.
Didn't even get a gig in Scotland. So.
It was Michael Smith because he's playing for Preston. Pat? I know that John. I don't know if you'll have a take on this, but Patty, are you surprised we didn't go back for him after being linked with him for 2 windows, pretty heavily? It was pretty obvious that he was the man we were after. Of course, we get Kiefer, but are you surprised we did? That does seem like the perfect backup to Moore, right? I think he's a backup for Preston. I don't think he's a regular starter for them. Am I wrong there, John?
Started against us, I believe.
Did he start against? Okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm not
sure
maybe he is
wouldn't have won.
I'm not sure he's their regular starter from all accounts because they did make a fair few changes against us.
Okay.
I got a feeling they do start. I think it was Jefferson mainly starts.
Yeah.
But he did start against us, Smith.
Okay.
Just
To me, I mean, that similar profile player though, him and Kiefer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Big target
I
man.
personally thought it was one or the other. And I wasn't sure whether Kiefer was coming in as a starter. I thought he was going to be our super sub that would come on for the last 30 minutes to really push as the secondary attack. But no, he started well, and now he seems to be a fixture of Parky's team.
So do you think it would have made more sense? I mean, I'll just throw this for example. I mean, we're not getting anything out of Hardy, or we're just not using him. And nothing. I don't think Hardy was that bad when he played for us. He's just not obviously not. He's not that type of player. He's a different type of player. And maybe there's something to be said for having different profile of players. But would it have made sense to try to get him instead of Hardy?
Oh, yes. The problem was we got Hardy too early.
Yeah.
But yes, looking at it now, I would swap out Hardy for Smith. I think he absolutely would make us stronger.
Yeah, I would feel better about it, at least because at least if something happened to Kiefer, you'd have another big man to go to.
Yeah.
Because right now, I mean, if we'll basically have to change more. I mean, not exactly. I guess it's not fair to say. I want to say we'd have to change how we play, but to be honest, I don't think we're playing that much dissimilar to what we played last season.
Yeah.
It's just we're using Smith instead of, you know what I mean? He's just not as good at that, hold up play as what
we still need to learn some different tactics as a team. But if you look at last season, the 3-5-1-1 kind of came at the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Is when it came in and it just stayed for the second half of the season. And it's very early this season to be changing into the 3-4-2-1 as a general kind of rule. It's like he's doing this really, really quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised now if he went back to the 3-5-1-1 for the majority of matches and waited until January or closer to January to maybe transition back to the 3-4-2-1, and he might bring in one or two players that will help that change.
So, okay, let me ask you this. This is something I've been thinking about. Come January, what positions are we looking to improve?
For me, we need another left wing back because one is not enough. Longman is not good enough. So we need one there. Do we need a right wing back? Potentially. It really depends on, are we ready to upgrade Barney? But Barney hasn't been playing. Longman has even been playing ahead of him. So we could keep Longman instead of Barney and get rid of Barney. Do you know what I mean? So both our wings need major upgrades. Now, is Kabore that upgrade? Can we sign him in January? I'm not sold on Kabore yet. His defense is amazing, but he needs to figure out how he attacks with us. It may not be a him problem. It might be just a team strategy problem at the moment. And he's getting double teamed.
He's getting double. I was going to say teams have really decided we're not letting him do anything. Which I think once Kakache is regularly playing on the left, we will cause them trouble because that'll alleviate some of that because, they're not going to, I think he'll cause them enough trouble. So, yeah, it's I do agree, though. I think Kabore has been fantastic defensively, which was kind of a surprise. I didn't know how he'd be defensively. But it is interesting that he does play a fullback for his national side. Yeah. Not a wing back. It's a fullback. He plays fullback for them.
I was really happy with the defensive play of both Kakache and Kabore. in the match they started together.
Yeah.
They were really good. But look, we need them playing all the time together, and we need them to work out their attack.
There you go.
The back line does need help. It's a bit old. Yeah.
Yep.
I still think you need a Kiefer Moore, not replacement, but
backup. Another big man.
And if I was you, I'd go and raid Stockport for Wotton.
Wooden, yeah,
because he's the big men are they're uncommon, aren't they?
Yeah, they are uncommon. Yeah.
I know you mentioned Michael Smith is a League One player. He's not good enough. I know Wotton has spent a lot of his time in the lower league, but Wotton's on the way up, Smith's on the way down,
right?
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you look around the Championship, for example, there isn't that profile of player out there. They're kind of hard to find these days.
What happened to who was the big? I can't think of his name. He was at I think he's at Stoke, or was last season. He was at Blackburn before that. Big guy. He's like 6'5". I can't think of his name. I always thought he was in there. I liked him when we were looking at big guys like Ollie Palmer replacements. I was.
What nationality?
He's English.
Are you talking about Sam Gallagher?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh my God!
Big sucker. He's a big sucker.
Yeah, he is. He's good at changing light bulbs, and that's about it, mate.
Okay. Right. Back to Kyle Wooten. I pulled him up here. He's 29 years old.
Yeah.
All right. He has 6 goals and 3 assists in 14 matches in League One. 29. How much are they going to ask us for if we try and pull him out in January or something?
That's what I was thinking, Jesse. What do we do?
His market value is like just over 600 grand.
And Alpha and Mars bar and a packet of crisps be fine.
They'll ask us for 5 million. They will.
I think Michael's been on the sauce.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, here. Hang on. Here's a question, and here's a problem for us. All right, is in certain positions we potentially have a very good player, but we don't have a very good backup. So, what we should be doing is upgrading so far that he takes the number 1 position, forcing a player into the backup. But they're players that are actually our number 1 players at the moment. So in theory, we should be looking at someone else. There's plenty of other players that are not like top end yet. So that's a problem. Like you've got Kikacha and Kabore with no real backup. But how do we get a backup that's as good as them if we tell them, but you're going to sit on the bench?
Yeah.
That's a problem. And we don't want to be signing people for 3 years to sit on a bench.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to get tricky. And I almost think, especially starting January before the next summer, it's going to be who's available. It's going to be who we can get that is really much better than what we have. And it's, sorry, you are out of luck because this random person in this random position that we weren't necessarily looking at upgrading has become available, and they are much better than you. And we have just paid 10 million for them.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is you might be in a position where you don't need to go and get too many you may be comfortable in the season and go, okay, we want to upgrade positions, but the players are just not available, or they're available for silly money.
Too much,
just like,
yeah,
we're not going to spend that.
I think if they're not available, we absolutely should let it go. But absolutely agreed.
The other interesting thing, we still got players that we just haven't seen yet. Like we haven't seen play much. I mean, obviously Thomason has looked good, but he's only played 2 games, really. I mean, he's had 2 starts. So he's looked good in those 2 starts, but does that mean he's going to be a good player? Like, what are we going to, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? And you just don't know. Rathbone, is he going to be, will he be a contributor of some sort? Still haven't seen him.
I'll give you credit. Tomlinson's plays 2 more games than Fujimoto.
That's Ken's guy. Ken
So
I'll tell you what, I like the looks of him, but yeah.
I think we've done this in the Discord a few times. I think it's a little bit easier to talk about players that will need to be upgraded soon enough, whether we can find someone in January or whether it's next summer or not. We do have Scar. I know he played well recently, but Scar needs to be upgraded. Elliot Lee's gone. We have Maka is gone. Barney is on the list, but maybe not the first one. Longman is even on the list, but again, not necessarily the first. Who do we have in the midfield then that we're not using? That's not new. Well, you just mentioned
Rathbone would be. I mean, but that's because he's been injured, not because.
I know, yeah, but
so we don't know. We don't know. Is he? Yeah. We all expect he'll come in and be good at the level, but.
Yeah, I know, but I
don't know.
I'm going to be a little bit unfair on him here in that he's just come up from League One with us.
Yeah.
So he hasn't proven himself as a championship player. Exactly. So he needs to get in quick and he needs to prove himself right now, or he's in danger. And he's in danger anyway because he has to force his way back into the team.
He has played at Championship before, and I'll be honest, he didn't really cut it.
Yeah. So that's the, what's.
But as I say, some of these players that we're going to kind of replace, we have just upgraded them already. So are we upgrading to a first starting position? Are we going to try and bring in cheaper players that are going to fight for a position but are maybe along the same level? It's going to be a tough one.
I don't know about Hardy. He's not played.
Hardy's going to go somewhere else. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's several you could upgrade. I originally was thinking we'll probably go big, but now, I mean, just watching the team, like, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you. We may not. We may. I mean, I'm sure we'll do something.
See who's available.
What's available.
I want them to go big. If you're going to swap someone out now, after doing a full team swap in the summer, make it a big change. Make it a big improvement.
I think the problem is if you do a big one, you're gonna have to spend a lot. I think you're gonna overpay for a big one. So I mean that you'll just have to be willing to do that.
I remember listening to an interview with I can't remember which Premier League manager it was or ex-Premier League manager it was, and they were saying about the January transfer window, and they said, what would be your perfect January transfer window as a manager? And he said, well, not signing anyone.
Yeah.
And they sort of said, well, how do you work? He said, well, if you don't need to sign anyone in January, he says your summer business has been right. And he said, and you've not had any. He said the only reason you'd need to do business in the January windows, he said, some of your signings haven't worked, or you've picked up some long-term injuries to key players. Yeah. He said otherwise, he says you don't want to do business in January.
Yeah.
What about if you want to get real ruthless? What about Brunt?
Yeah.
I mean, he's hurt now.
The left side,
But I mean, I of the center back, I think Brunt's been really good actually when he's played. But
again, this is the problem. It's all levels. It's like where do you put Brunt? Well, Brunt hasn't proven himself as a top end championship defender, not yet.
Well, maybe he could have. I don't think we've got. I think we've got a lot of players that aren't top end championship players, though,
Yeah,
including the players that we brought in.
maybe.
You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of them that aren't going to be quite good enough. So that's how. Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on how hard they want to push and how ruthless they want to be.
And that's the problem. They do want to push fast. In theory, the better option for most teams would be to sit comfortably in the championship for 2 seasons. Let your younger players, your better players, grow into the championship, and then see what exactly their level is. But we don't have the time for that. We're not going to do it, and it's going to be harsh on some players. Some players are going to leave us, and they're probably going to end up in lower championship players.
I think I can't remember if we were on the pod, Sean. I mentioned this one to you. I can't remember if we were talking like after one of the pods one night. Pretty sure I was talking to you about it though.
Yes,
City
you
Pack. That's one. I would be one because we were talking about Sheffield United. How much money do they have? Will they be able to? I like that one. I don't
know why you like him. I think he's useless.
I like City Pack.
He's only playing because they've got like so many injuries. The Sheffield United.
He was fantastic last season. What? Yeah, and here to that point, Michael, the Wilder loves Peck. Yeah.
Yeah, Wilder loved Jack Robinson too. It's not a claim to fame.
But he played him last season. He was fantastic. City Peck was fantastic last season. I like him.
I think that was more to do with what he had around him.
Well, then we need to get him and then put more around him.
Well, if you wanted a midfielder from them, Arblaster or whatever his name is the one. That's the one there. But I mean, he's injured and he's like astronomical. City Peck is no better than what you've already got.
Don't think so. But he's young, so he gets better. He's not 30.
Who in Southampton do we want after they get relegated this season?
Well, you'd have Hardwood Bellis in a like blink of an eye.
Oh,
I'd probably have some of their strikers too. They got some quality forwards.
Yeah, they do. Well, I mean, they're not showing it, but yeah, they do.
Yeah. They got the midfielder, aren't they? The one that was on loan at Sheffield Wednesday last season as well. Whose brother is the goalkeeper at Sheffield Wednesday. He looks like he's going to be something special, but it sounds like Spurs are sniffing around him.
Yeah. Well. All right. Are we done? Are we getting out of here? I think Jesse's ready for us to get out of here.
That's a new record for this show.
Is it? Have we not gone longer than
2.5 hours? Yeah.
It's pretty solid. Pretty solid when literally before the show, we weren't sure if John was coming on, and me and Patty couldn't come up with anything to talk about. Literally 5 minutes before the show, me and Patty are like,
what are we going to talk about?
Oh, shoot. That was pretty good. That's how this show always goes. I like this show because we all end up just bullshitting for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we're good at bullshitting.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, shoot. All right. We done then? We good?
Next show up is the match tomorrow night.
Yep.
As far as I'm aware, full panel of shows for the match day. Pre-show, watch along, and extra time afterwards. So if we lose, come watch me cry.
Dude, I don't want to lose. I really didn't. This is why I didn't want to play them. I was perfectly happy saying we're better than them. We don't have to play them. We're higher than them.
If you lose, you got to wear your Peterborough shirt.
Oh, shoot.
You can tell the truth. You haven't really got it. You've burnt it already. We know.
No, he hasn't. That's his favorite possession. He loves that thing.
I wear it quite a bit, actually.
What'd you put on the back? I can't remember. What was it?
Bag of Donuts 0-0.
Bag of Donuts. That's right. Bag of Donuts. Bag of donuts. That's what it was. It was good. All right. Well, let's get the hell out of here. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, guys. I don't know how you guys lasted 2.5 hours. Some of you guys didn't even. I know Michael's been on here, I think, the whole show. Esteban's been here for most of it. Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. Yeah, like Patty said, full slate of shows tomorrow. Tactical Fortitude on Thursday. Me and Victor and Ken.
I might turn up one of
then,
these days to that show.
yeah, I know that show is like made for you, by the way.
I know. I'll tell you. Wait till the night I do turn up. I'm gonna have like an hour and a half worth of video.
He's gonna break it. Yeah, kid's gonna leave the show 45 minutes in. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. Too much info. Josh will turn us off. He can't watch it. Oh shoot. Yeah, Josh and Ken. I don't think they like when we dig deep, like when me and you dig deep, and Victor does the same thing. We get real deep into it. I think their eyes glaze over.
It's just
Josh and Ken, brother.
The first show when you had the tactical board come out, you just saw Josh's eyes go to the back of it. He was done. That was it. He was done. Interested, lost.
They can't say they can't. They don't. I don't think they just don't. They're like, nope, I'm good. But yeah. Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Oh, and then of course Friday watch along and the whole slate show. So
Tuesday, Friday matches. Oh.
Tuesday, Fridays. Yeah, no, it's rough.
But
what
are we gonna do on Saturday?
What we ought to do is have like a watch along. We ought to do we ought to have a hangout watch along or something.
Yeah, you can watch us.
Oh yeah, who you guys got?
We got Portsmouth at home on Saturday.
Oh, so you're gonna get battered.
I see you're going to it.
Yeah, I'll be going to it. Yeah.
Oh, yes. All right, cool.
Maybe we should get a full team watch along then. Watch Birmingham.
Yeah.
Slag off their players.
Just make fun of them, talk shit.
Make fun of them when we go ahead of them on the leaderboard.
Oh, I thought we were going ahead of them this weekend.
I know, yeah.
Oh, I thought we had them.
I must admit, I didn't have the scores, and I sort of, as we were losing, I thought, well, at least Wrexham will lose to Middlesbrough. I checked the score, and I was bollocks.
I said maybe there wouldn't be a champ chat if we were ahead of it. If we were ahead of you in the leaderboard.
You were ahead of us last season for like a week or two, weren't you? So it's more than a week or two. First couple of months of the season, I think.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's get out of here for real this time. Get everybody like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're almost I don't know how far we are now. We're almost to 3,000 guys. Just a handful more subscribers. We'll be at 3,000. So let's get us over the line. That's been a big target for the channel. So let's get after it. Do that. And on that bombshell, we will see you all soon.